Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to AFM pre-June 2024 mock exam. As you can see from here, all you need to do is go to your ACCA website and log into your practice platform and open the AFM pre-June 2024 mock exam. And this is question number 1. This question number 1 is on accusation. Okay, it is from your section C of your AFM syllabus, which is accusation and merger. So here on your left hand side, you can see you have been given an information about a company. You have acquired another company, and what is the combined company valuation and offer to the target company's director and the requirements. Question number 1 is for 50 marks with 10 professional marks. So now let us first always start with the requirements. Okay, first requirement is prepare a report. That means your professional skill marks is here. Okay, for the directors of the company. You need to calculate the profit and loss for the sale of the infrastructure support service division. That means this company is selling one of their division and you need to calculate profit or loss for that division. And let me tell you that I'm not going to read all the exhibits one after the other. That's your part of job. So when you attempt this question, please make sure when you watch this video that you have already read the exhibits and then you come here for the solution. Okay, I'm assuming you have gone through these exhibits. Okay, so this saves a lot of time and I'll be going a little quicker on each question. Now, so you need to calculate the profit and sale of the infrastructure. It's only for 2 marks. Remember, wherever the word calculate comes, do it in your spreadsheet. Okay, calculation part is in spreadsheet and writing part, discussion, explain is in the word processor. Okay, but you need to label clearly that this is for part A, this is for part B, or first part of A, second part of it, like that. Okay, I'll show you. Next, second. Okay, as you can see, it's 18 marks. Okay, in the second part you need to calculate as well as conclude. Okay, so calculate part totally in the spreadsheet. Okay, you need to calculate the percentage gain or loss to the shareholders of the target company. Target company means the company that you are acquiring. He's the percentage gain or loss for that shareholder under both the scenario. What is the scenario? See, there are 2 scenarios. They are giving cash offer and they are giving share exchange offer. So under both the offer, you have to show what is the percentage gain and loss. It's a big calculation. Assuming the target shareholders either accept fully cash or share. Then solely on financial grounds, conclude whether shareholder should accept cash or share. This is just 1 mark that you can just talk about based on calculation. Okay, next, third question. Third part of A. Okay, discuss for both the share and the cash offer. See, discuss for both. Okay, you can't include only for both has to be explained equally, cash and share. The impact of the acquired company's financial position of the purchase. See, when you purchase a company, what would be the impact? What is the financial impact on you? That you have to explain. Number 1. Number 2, the likely reaction of the target company shareholder. Okay, whether they will go for cash, what happens if they go for share, what happens both. And it's for 7 marks. See, when you allocate 7 marks and you are given 2 requirements and 1 single mark, allocate that mark equally. Equally as in, I'm not saying give 3.4 and 3.4. 3.5 and 3.5. It's not practical. So let's say if you're writing 3 points under the impact of the world age company, so you can write 4 for the likely reaction. Or if you're writing 4 here, write 3 here. Okay, try to balance it out. Next, part B. Part B is very important. See, in AFM, you will always get a question on ethics in your question number 1. Okay, ethical question will come. So discuss the ethical considerations from world age and Tinkleton viewpoint. So both Both viewpoint you have to discuss. Acquirer and the target company's viewpoint. Relating to the possible private offer of jobs and cash bonuses to the target company's director. What happened in the scenario was Worldage was giving them an offer for private jobs and some cash bonuses. So from the ethical point of view, you have to say whether it's right to do it or not for 5 marks. Okay. And yes, one more question I've missed out. That was part 3. This one. This is for 8 marks. So discuss the problems with achieving the focus operating synergies. That means what could be the problem, what could be the reasons of you not achieving the synergy that you have focused on? Why do we merge with another company or acquire? Simply to get some synergies. There are 3 types of synergies. Okay, we are not asking the different types of synergies here: cost, revenue, and financial. We are talking about why you are not being able to achieve the focused synergies. Number 1. So for that 4 marks, and the remaining 4 marks is here. And the steps. See, and the step is another requirement. And the steps which the company board can take to achieve the scenario. How you can achieve the scenario? What are the steps the company's board can take to achieve those scenarios? There are 2 requirements here. And the word discuss means you have to use word processor. It's a discussion question. So if you see, and yes, the 10 professional marks is here, right? All these skills will be tested. Your analysis and evaluation, skepticism, and commercial acumen. Okay. And of course, your communication will be tested when you are writing the report. So now, if you see, this is not entirely calculation. AFM is not entirely calculation. This is same for question 2 and 3. If you see discussion part, in fact, I can see the number of marks for discussion is more here. You see here it's discussion. 8 marks. You don't need calculation here. Even here, discussion, 7 marks. So 8 and 7, 15 marks. Discuss ethical, another 5 marks. So another 5. So 15 plus 5, 20 marks. 20 marks just for writing out of the 50. Even this, the calculation part is only here, profit and loss and percentage gain and loss. To calculate that percentage gain and loss, you have to calculate so many things. This is what you have to break down and know how. You can't directly calculate gain and loss. You have to do a lot of steps here. And this is company valuation. Remember, when company valuation is there, to get gain and loss, you have to first calculate the target company's value. Then you have to calculate the combined company's value. Then only you can calculate gain and loss. That's the step. Okay. So now, requirements. Okay. First, let's quickly calculate the profit and loss of the infrastructure. And see, the number of your requirement is, the exhibits that you have to use is based on the number of the requirements. For example, since this is your first requirement, right? You will always get it in your first exhibit. You don't have to look for the 2, 3, and 4. The moment you open here, you will get it. Okay. It's not always like that. I mean, sometimes you might need the second exhibit also, but in this case, in the first exhibit itself, you will get the answer for the first requirement. Then the second one, you have to open the second and the third for this requirement to calculate. Then for this two, third and fourth, like that. So here first we'll open. We'll go through the exhibits roughly, okay? I'm assuming you have read everything. So all this information you can read. It's about a company, which industry they are in, okay? And what is their profit, and that they have acquired this company, why they have acquired, and things like that, okay? But if you see the moment they say calculate, we know that we know numbers. This is how you save your time. These are small little techniques that I'm telling you, no tutor will tell you. When you go through and when you have to calculate, you always calculate first. Start with the calculation rather than discussion. It will help you. You need the support of calculation to discuss. Immediately go through the numbers. Scan the numbers first. Wherever the numbers are, slow down and read there. So since you know that this few paragraphs do not have, they did not mention any number. There is no numerics. Where are the numbers? In fact, it's here, 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 and here. These are the number. right? So from this portion you can answer. Since it's just 2 marks, you don't need so much of information. 1 or 2 line is enough. So this is about them saying that they have sold off their infrastructure. So that information you will get from here. They have sell its infrastructure for this much. What was the value of the asset and liability? So quickly go and highlight. This will help you. Okay. Sell the infrastructure for this much. Now I'll highlight it. You see? These are the small techniques in solving you to do your questions. Sale of the division will consist of 25% of their assets and liabilities only. They are selling, not the entire amount. What is the value of the asset? Asset is this much, 68,960, and the liabilities are, see, this much. So how do you get the value of the company? Just get the net asset, right? You have to compare your sale proceed with the net asset and get the profit and loss. So sale net asset will be current asset minus current liability, and just take 25% of it. Very easy. Now let's do it in where? Spreadsheet? Yes, in spreadsheet. Don't write it in your report. Numbers always needs to be done in the, and always put it under appendix. Appendix 1, appendix 2, appendix 3, like that. So this is first requirement, we'll put it under appendix 1. Please follow the order. Order is very important. By the way, when you're answering your requirement, please follow the order. It's highly advisable. Otherwise, you're going to get confused later on. Keep searching where it is, and also uh, throw away your professional marks. So please present your requirements in the order given to you. So first requirement, I will present it first. It will go under spreadsheet. Okay. You need to clearly label it. So I will put appendix 1. I know the font might be a little small for you, but, and don't just write appendix 1. What is appendix 1? It's profit on the sale of infrastructure support service division. Write it. Profit on, make sure this profit is capital. Profit on sale of infrastructure. Writing. Okay. And I'm going to just write sale of infrastructure support service division. Okay. You can write the entire thing. I'm leaving it up to you because this is understood. And this is which one? Your answer. See, since your main requirement, you are not putting it in the word processor, you are putting it in Excel. You there also you have to label that this is requirement A. Okay, first part of requirement A, like this you have to label, and make sure that I will bring it in one column, and this I will bold it. Make it look very presentable. If you see your answer marking scheme also is like this. Now I will write profit. What are you finding? Profit on sale of division. This I will bold. So how much did I sell it for? Open your exhibit 1, 18,250. And asset is this. So minus your liability from asset and just take 25% of it and deduct it from your sale proceed. That's what I'll be doing here. Okay. So I'll write here. Okay. 18,250 minus, put a bracket, put 25%. See, it will not work because I didn't put the equal sign. You need to put the equal sign. 25%, or you can write the formula here. 25%, again put a bracket. What is the value of the asset? 68. Because this I'm taking 25% of asset minus liability. You have already sold 25%. 68,960 minus 4860, close bracket, close another bracket, enter. Why did not work out? Minus. It's okay, we can always make mistakes and learn from it. Rather than making the mistake on the day of your exam, please make the mistake now and it will not come. See, because when you put that 25%, it do not perform the calculation. Okay, you can do this in 2 steps, or I will change it like this: 18,250 minus 25%. When I'm putting the multiplication sign now. 68,960 minus 4,860. You have to close the double bracket, enter. You see, because I did not put this one there, the multiplication side, it did not perform. Either you can do this, either you can take your calculator here and do it. But I would suggest doing it in Excel because it's much faster than doing it in calculator. Why? Because the moment you do any calculation in your calculator, something happened. Okay, it went to the. So the moment you do any calculation in your calculator, you cannot bring the formula here. Examiner wants to see this formula here. The moment someone clicks here, examiner could see this formula, and based on that you will be given the marks. But the same thing when you do it in the calculator, yes, you will get the answer maybe. Okay, what happens? We'll try to do that also. So 18,250 minus, we'll put a bracket, 25%. We don't have the percentage sign, so just put 0.25 multiply by bracket. Okay, 68,960 minus 4,860, double bracket, enter. You see, still you are getting this number, but this function, that line that you have performed, you can't copy paste here. You can only write 222.5. So it's better to do all the functions in the Excel. Then you don't need the calculator, which saves a lot of time opening the calculator each time, pressing one number after the other. It's difficult to press in the calculator, isn't it? But you typing the number, it's much faster. Saves a lot of time. And any change you do to anything, you should always reopen the calculator and do the whole function. It wastes a lot of time. But if later you come here and realize you have made some mistake, let's say this was supposed to be 1, let's assume, press immediately, the answer changes. You don't have to do the whole function, write all the numbers again. But if you were using calculator, you have to redo the whole function again, which waste a lot of time. So let's undo. Okay, so this is the answer. So first requirement you have answered, and this itself is for 2 marks. Okay, next, appendix 2. I'll copy paste it here. Paste. Just I will change the name. Appendix 2. What is appendix 2? Gain and loss for the target companies, the percentage gain. Gain or loss for the T shareholder. I will just write for T. If cash or share exchange was used, that whole sentence you can write. Okay, so this is the requirement A, second part. You see, these are the little techniques you have to write. Rather than writing the whole thing again, just copy paste it and change wherever the changes are required. Saves a lot of time. Now, remember, when you have acquired a company, you should first value the target company. Okay, before accusation, because you don't know the value of the target company. You need to know that first. Isn't it? Why? See, they did not ask the acquire company's profit and loss. Then only you would have to find for voltage. Here they asked you for the T company. So you need the value of the T company only. That, so before accusation. First you have to find before accusation, then only the combined company's valuation to find the gain and loss after accusation. So first, company value of T. I'm not writing the entire name of the company. T company prior or pre-accusation. You can write prior to accusation. Always when you mention write the value of the company. Okay, combined company. First you have to find the value of the individual company before the accusation, rather than immediately going to the combined value. You can't do that. Okay. So this bold. Now remember, how are you going to value the company? There are various valuation models that I've taught you. Free cash flow to equity, then price earnings ratio, right? PE ratio. So based on market, based on cash, and based on income. So many methods are there. Which method should we use? We have to open the exhibits for this. Now we have to open the exhibits. It is in a 2. So in 2, just see here. Okay. So here when you go, this is all about the accusation. Okay. What are the benefits they are going to make, the synergies and all those things. So that we don't need. We can immediately go to this information that we need here. This informations. Okay. I will make sure to make it little bigger for you. Like this, so that now you can see. Okay. So here they have given the target company's information. What is their profit before interest and tax? After deducting allowable tax allowable depreciation and non-cash expense. See, after deducting, they have got this profit. So when you want to bring it into cash, you have to add this back again, adjust it. So I will write this. I will highlight this information. Now, annual cash investment is 173 in non-current assets and working capital. Free cash flow. So it's a free cash flow method that they're using. Okay, they will grow by 6%. And this will continue forever, foreseeable future. Then the current cost of capital is 13%. You need this for discounting. Okay, company's tax rate is 20%. And they have 1,200 million, $1 million ordinary shares. Next, these are the offers. A cash offer of 17.3 for each share in T company. And a share for share, that means 5 shares in W for 6 shares in T. This is the ratio. 5 for 6. Okay. And when you open the third, you will get the combined company's information. Let's do that also. But you should go through all the exhibits first before answering any requirement, okay? Because I've read all the requirements and assuming you also read all the exhibits, exhibits. So that's why I'm able to do it a little faster. Otherwise, I have to read all open exhibits, read. It will waste a lot of time. Because I know that you can do it by yourself. The things which you can't do it by yourself is what I'm doing here right now, right? So here they have given the information about the combined company. Okay. So combined companies information I need when I'll be doing information for the combined company. Right now I can keep it here aside so that I don't confuse myself and overload myself with too much information, right? Just study this and I will open my spreadsheet once again and keep your exhibit 2 only open on the screen. Close down all the other exhibits. Okay. Which method are you using is clear. It's free cash flow to firm. Okay. Free cash. You can write FCF. It's understood. Okay. So free cash flow to firm, I'll write it here. Okay. I will do the working here. See, always keep the working in one line is easier. For example, this is here, right? So I will try to make sure my answer calculation is in B column. It's easier that way. You can do it in any other column. There is no harm in that, but I feel it's easier here. So here, free cash flow equal to free cash flow. So where will I start from? Since I've highlighted, it's very easy for me that I only need this piece of information. That's it. I don't need information from any other place. So profit before interest and tax. This is always whenever you're given cash flow, your starting point should be from profit. Starting point should be from profit. Please understand this. Always adjust the profit to convert it into cash flow. Whether it's free cash flow to equity, whether it's free cash flow to firm, whatever. Cash is given, adjust your profit to cash. How do you adjust? This non-cash expense was deducted and you got this profit. Now you have to add this back because it was non-cash expense. You have to add this back to the profit and get the cash flow. Understood? So 1300 plus 419. Let's quickly do that. Plus 419. Next, any outflow, cash outflow you have to deduct, like this cash investment of 173. You have to minus it. Minus 173. Okay. Next. That's it. Everything is taken care of. Now all you have to deduct is tax. So minus tax. What is tax? Tax is 20%, right? 20% you have to deduct from what? On which amount? See, tax is always taken on profit. So the profit is this was. Profit was this. It's not on this amount after adjusting. No. This you added and you got cash flow 1304.19. But tax is not on cash flow. Tax is on profit. So 20% tax you will take on this profit only. 1300. Okay. That you have to minus now. Put a bracket. Because there are two calculations. Minus and multiplication. 1300 is bottommost, right? 1300 into 20%. On profit you are taking 20% tax. Because tax is a cash expense. And enter. You see, very easily you got this amount. Always check the figure one after the other, whether it's correct or not. That's it. Now what else? You need the value. See, we have to take care of that there's a growth of 6%. Now we are going to find the company value. Okay. This all you can do very quickly, free cash flow to firm, only when you practice enough questions on this method, on valuation of company using this method. Quickly I know what I have to put. Quickly I know how to deduct tax. Quickly I know how to deduct cash investment. Quickly I know I have to adjust my profit. How do I know all this? After you have done enough questions on this. That's why you have to do lots of questions. Okay. So now next is company value. Company value. Okay. What is my company value? And yes, one more thing that just came across my mind. I want to make it clear. Many students ask me this question, should we write the whole thing? Okay, like 1300 plus this amount and then write the answer again in the next column. Don't do that. It wastes a lot of time. Two times you have to do the calculation. This showing this is enough. Why? See, the moment examiner clicks here, right, they can see that you have done the function. They can see clearly from here. Okay. Now company valuation. You need this. So equal, always put equal sign before calculation, otherwise it will not perform the calculation. You need this. Whenever you need the previous amount, click on the cell, make sure it's highlighted in whatever color, blue, green, or whatever. Now you need this will grow by 6% forever. Okay, so multiply this, wait, multiply this by 6% growth, 1.06. You have to add 6% with 100. So it's 1. Okay, it's 100 plus 6 divided by 100. So you will get 1.06. Okay. Okay, divide by, I'm sorry, divide by, put a bracket. What was the cost of capital? Cost of capital was 13% and growth is 6%. So the difference between these two. This is the fixed formula for finding company value. You should know all this. This was there in my AFM lecture when I taught you free cash flow. How to value your company using free cash flow. This is the method. Cost of capital and you deduct your growth. So 13% minus 0.06. Close the bracket. Enter. See, you are getting this in decimal, no? Please avoid decimal and always keep your answers to whole number. How do you do this? This is also very easy. I will teach you how. Go here and go here. Go to custom. Okay. When you go to custom, you can see all, right? Click this first 0 and okay. You see? Now. And yes, one more thing you can do is, since you are dropping down the millions, the 3 zeros at the end. Okay. So this will be, for example, 19,474, not 19,474. It will be 19,474 million. So in the top, when you're writing, you can write in millions when you're dropping down the zeros. Okay, this is better. Now, so I quickly know it's 19,474 million. Okay, now see, whenever you find the company value, always try to find your answer in terms of value per share, per one share. Don't put the entire value. Why? It's easier for you to compare. We need to know the share price. To find the percentage gain on all is easier to compare with the share price. See, if you see here, for example, even the cash offer, it's given for each share. For each share, they have given the 17.3. So if you know per share what it is, it's easier. So always keep your answer per share. This is the rule for company valuation. For any question in AFM, for which you need the number of shares also. So now, value per share. Okay, so value per share equal to this divide by, what is your number of share? It's given there only. It's 1,200. You need the number of share. Enter. So this, you see, this is in 2 decimal places. Cash offer. Always try to keep the same format. So this also I will keep in 2 decimal places. Again, it's easier to do this. Go here, click this and put this. You can see after 0 there are 0.00. Done. See, 16.23. Now you need to find combined company's valuation. Okay, you only need the equity value. So what I'm going to do, equity value combined company post acquisition. This is after acquisition. We don't need the W's company, the acquires company, because they didn't ask anything about that company's share gain or anything. We only need the target company and the combined value. Okay. So now when you do this, you have to discount. Remember, you have to know the time period. This is for how many years? Now you need the combined companies table information. So see, this is also easier to read. You will not waste so much of time. Just go through it as you see all the figures. Okay. So now I will close two. I will only keep exhibit 3 open. Now, so you can see estimated revenue for year 1 is this much. I will highlight it. $46,600. Then the profit margin. Before the post acquisition, operating synergies are taken into account. See, this is before they have taken the acquisition synergies. Okay, it's 18%. Operating synergies are 750. Then they pay tax at 20%. Voltage, same as tea company. And in year 1, the combined company will require additional investment of 426. And in year 2 to 4. So this means this is a 4-year project. Okay. From year 2 to 4, the pre-tax profit, forecast pre-tax profit, including operating synergy. That means including this 750. Okay. First, you have to find the pre-tax profit using this 18%. Then you have to take your synergy and then, okay, it will grow by 10% per year. Since we don't know what is the profit for the other years, you just have to increase it by 10% per year. Okay. And additional investment will grow by 8% per year. After year 4, free cash flow will grow by 6% forever. Okay. After, see, after, whenever they say after taking into account, make sure you take it after that only, not before that. Then your answer will be wrong. After taking into account additional investment. The combined company's cost of capital, okay, can be assumed to be the same as the voltage current cost of capital. That is the cost of capital prior to the announcement of the sale of the infrastructure and the bid of this one. You need to find the combined company's cost of capital. Okay. Now you have been given the acquired company's uh, cost and equity and debt. You need it to find cost of capital. So voltage has 5,000 shares, 5,000 million $1 shares in issue, trading at 20.41. Okay. With the total market value, you need the market value when you do cost of capital. The book and the market value of long-term loan is 23,780 for voltage. You need this also. Then the pre-tax cost of debt is 8%. So you will be given all this information. You just have to know how to apply them. Equity beta is 1.26. Equity beta can come in investment appraisal also, section B, and also acquisition and merger and also reconstruction. 3 areas this will be tested. That means you can never escape your equity beta and asset beta. You should always come prepared with it. Always. Risk-free rate is 4% and market risk premium is 7.4%. This is for your capital asset pricing model. And Tilson also has 1,200 million shares in issue. And we'll quickly open fourth to see whether we have any financial information or not. Nothing is there, only this paragraph. So we don't need this. Okay, this is about that private offer jobs and all. This is for your ethics. So not much information. We only need exhibit 3. Now open spreadsheet. Now, so we can open with our, start with our sales and profit and all those things. So first, this is here, okay. Year 1, 2, 3, and 4. This will be in dollar million, okay. Okay, anyway, so we'll start with the sales. Sales in the first year is 46,600. Then based on the 18% margin, we can find out the pre-tax because that was before synergy. Pre-tax profit pre-synergies, before synergies. How much? Equal to 18% of this sales revenue. Enter. Now, synergies. You have to take synergies. 750. All this in the first year. Now, pre-tax profit. So, pre-tax profit, how much? 20%. So, equal to 20% of what? Okay, sorry, this is not tax, I'm sorry. Pre-tax profit, okay. You have to take this and this. Enter. Sorry. It's a sum function. This, don't add all the 3 by the way. Please don't make that mistake. This is sales. And on 18% you got the profit. You have to add synergy with the profit. Now they told that pre-tax profit after taking synergy will grow by 10% every year. So from 10%, that means 1.1 into this amount. Enter. Now I will try to drag this to the other cell. Automatically 10% is calculated on this. You see here 10% will be calculated on this amount. Then when you are calculating this, 10% is calculated on this amount. That's why I can drag it to the other cell. I will drop down the decimal. Go here, general, custom, this. Okay. This. Okay. You see? Now, tax. Less tax 20%. So now, near putting equal, just put a minus sign because tax will be deducted. So on this, just take 20%. Enter. Drag this to the other cells. It will take 20% of each. And just click here, custom, 0. Okay. So rather than doing it individually each time and dropping down the decimals, just click all the cell and go, and for once and all, drop down the decimal. Now, you need to deduct your additional investment. Additional investment in first year only. It will grow by 8%. First year it was 426. Remember, there is no year zero here. They have not mentioned anything like this. So minus, it's minus 426. This will grow by 8%. Okay, click here and up. Multiply by 1.08. Enter. Take it to the other cell and go here, custom, and okay. You see? Now, what you get will be your free cash flow. Sum function. From your pre-tax profit, deduct tax and investment. Enter. Drag it to the other cell. Go here, custom, and already it's there in 0. So just press OK. You see? Now, what is the discount factor? You need to discount this. Discount factor. See, you need a working here. Okay, that's why I'll write W. Whenever you're referring to a working, you have to label it like this. Reference it. That is there in working. Okay. So I will quickly, what am I going to do? Don't write it here. Don't write across. Doesn't look nice. Go down. Keep some space for your other answers. Just press enter. Keep some space, assuming I need this much of space. Okay. Not even that much, maybe here. I'm going to start my working. What is the working? Unit cost of capital. This is free cash flow to firm, not free cash flow to equity. If it was free cash flow to equity, you need cost of equity. Now I need cost of capital. See? Even under appendix, you need separate working. And working should never be presented here in the main table. It should be always kept separately like this. To find cost of capital, you need cost of equity first. How do you get cost of equity? Based on your capital asset pricing model. Press equal to. What is your market risk premium? I'm sorry, risk-free rate 4% plus bracket. What is your equity beta? 1.26. It's given. I've highlighted in exhibit 3. Multiply by market risk premium 7.4%. Enter. Change this into percentage. Go here. Okay. You need it in 2 decimal place or 1 decimal? 1 decimal place. 13.3. Okay. Remember, this is cost of equity. You need cost of capital. That means you need cost of debt also. Cost of debt is already given. You just need to perform the WACC now. Here in one line you can do. What is the go to exhibit 3? So you need the market valuation here. You see market valuation 102,050. You need this. So your market valuation for equity 102,050. Multiply with this cost of equity. Now I'll put a bracket here. Always make a habit of putting bracket wherever it's required. Otherwise you will go wrong in long calculation. Plus, what is debt? Market valuation for debt is also given. You see it's debt 23,780. 23,780. So 23,780 into cost of pre-tax cost of debt is 8%. You see, just I've highlighted here. 8%. It's not F8. It's just 8%. Next, multiplied with 80. Why? Because after deducting tax. Tax is 20%. So after tax it will be 80%. Close double bracket. You need to divide this whole thing by the market valuation of equity plus market valuation of debt. That's the formula. That's the formula of using. I'm just applying the formula in finding cost of capital. That's why you clearly need to know all this formula. Again, I will put divide and bracket. Market valuation of equity is 102,050. I've used it in the numerator. Plus 23,780. Close bracket. Enter. Nothing happened. Okay. I'll do the calculation again. 23,780 multiply by 8%. It's just one bracket. Plus 23,780. You see, when you go here, you can see something went wrong. What happened? Before doing this plus function, what they did was they did this and then they divided by this and then they have added with this. So that's why we'll put double bracket here, another bracket here, and see what happens. Nothing comes. We'll put a bracket here and we'll put a bracket here again, so that this function is performed first. That's why double bracket. Enter. See, now it's done. If you can't do this in one go, don't worry. Just separately write market valuation of equity, market valuation of debt, cost of equity, cost of debt. 4 separate column and do it. Okay. For example, I'm writing here. I will just show you an example. Cost of equity. KD, KE, KD. It's 8%. It is this. Okay. Market valuation of equity. This and 23,780. Like this you can do and just click and do. Separately you can do. First find first portion, second portion and the denominator portion and separately do it, which consumes a lot of time by the way. But if you can quickly do it, if you have mastered it, then anything is fine as long as your workings are there and answer is correct. Doesn't matter whether you do it in one go or 2-3 steps. Doesn't matter. So put double bracket here because you are doing the numerator calculation first before dividing it. Otherwise, what happens is it will perform this calculation first and then it will add with this. That's why the number is very big. It needs to be a percentage, right? And definitely it has to be less than the cost of equity. This is how you check. Why? Because when you add some portion of debt into it, this becomes lower. Change it into percentage now. So it's 12%. That's why I'm going to use 12% here. Okay. So when I write 12% here, rather than doing it manually, what I will do is I will use this table. You need to know how to use this. It's given here for a reason. Please try to use this table. Rather than doing it manually, I know you know it manually. waste a lot of time. Go to help formula sheet, go to the AFM formula sheet, go down, go to the discount factor table, present value table, and go at 12% here. So unit for 4 years. This 4 years unit 0.893, 0.797, 0.712, and 0.636. These are the 4-figure unit. You can't copy paste it, so you have to write it. Okay, try copy pasting, it will not copy paste it. So wherever it's not copy pasting it, just quickly write it. It's in 3 decimal places. And if someone wants to do this manually, that also I will show you, but I don't recommend to do it manually. Okay, it is 1 divided by 12%, right? 1.12. This then I have to format it to 3 decimal place. I have to go to custom, and I don't have it for the 3 decimal place though. It's showing in 2 decimal places, but this needs to be shown in 3 decimal places. Manually you have to do it like this, 0.893, but it has to be in 3 decimal because even in the table it's in 3 decimal places. Okay, here they only have it till 2 decimal places. The other way you can do is, there's a formula for it. I don't know whether you know it or not. Go here and go below, sorry, go up. I think it's not there. Yeah, it's here. When you go here, there's a function called round function. Yes, this round function. This round function you can use the number and digits that you wanted to round it. Okay, so here for example, it's a long process, but I will still show you. Round, click this number, comma, which number you want to round it to 3 decimal place, right? But there are 4 digits, you have to calculate the 0 also. The 0 is a number, so you want to take it into, you will write 4, enter. I'm sorry, it's 3. You see, you just click that number, round, click this number, and comma 3. That means this 3 means 3 digit. You want it in 3 digit, so it will be, the 0 is not counted. 3 digit means 893, 0.893. So you can do it like that, but rather than doing it individually like that, better to use the table, isn't it? Okay, now coming back to where I've stopped, discounted cash flow. Never mind my spelling mistake, but don't make the mistake in the exam. Okay, so this multiply by this, drag it, then I will go here, custom. Okay, I want to round this to whole number. Okay, you see. Now so combined company value years, company value, this is combined company value. From year 1 to 4, use the sum function, add all the 4, discounted cash flow, enter. This also I will round to whole number. Go here, custom. Okay. Now remember, after 4 years there's a growth. This is only for 1 to 4. You need to know beyond year 4. So here copy paste this, after year 4. Combined company value after year 4. Here, pay very careful attention. Always take the cash flow of year 4 because that's the last year. It is this. You have to take the free cash flow, not the discounted cash flow. Okay? This is the method. This is known as terminal value. And this method is there in my lectures also, by the way. You might get in your textbook also. Multiply this by the growth rate. Go to exhibit 3 and they told that there's a 7% growth after year 4. That you have to apply here. 1.07. Okay? Divide this by discount factor, cost of capital minus what is the cost of capital? Just now we have found this, you have to use. Okay? So it is 0.12 minus 0.07. And that's not enough. You need to discount this further. See, after year 4, let's say there could be 5, 6 or 7, like this is year 5, this is year 6, like that. So you need to bring all this cash flow, future cash flow into present value. That means year 1. How do you do that? You need the discount factor. Which discount factor are we using? This one. This discount factor, always. The last year's discount factor. If it was year 5, we'll be using the 5th year's. Even if it's after year 4. Because we don't know, right, for future, which discount factor are we going to use after 4? It's forever. So the 4th is the latest. So now, if you do enough of terminal value question, even this question, this terminal value, this also often comes in question number 1. Please go and learn it. This often comes in your exam. Multiply this. See, only the denominator part, okay? This needs to be discounted. Multiply with this. Enter. Now I'm going to round this to whole number. Okay. Now, what's happening? Just give me a minute. Okay, there has been a mistake somewhere because it's supposed to be no. Okay, we'll put a bracket here. No, there's a mistake somewhere that have occurred. It is supposed to be 125, 120. Okay. We'll do one thing. Multiply it by this. Because when I do it in the calculator, I'm getting a different answer compared to what I'm getting right now. So there's been some error in the calculator. This. So I'll do it once more. Okay. 9194. Okay, it came to 9193. Okay, anyway, let me try. 1.07. 12% minus 7%. Okay, and now if I change this to 4, okay, okay, so it's this. Okay, now it's correct. So now in your answer, by the way, you will get 125, 120. The difference comes to small rounding figure because this was 9193 there. Here I'm getting 9194. It doesn't matter. Okay. Next. So the total combined value. Okay, total value. You have to add both. As this. Go here and custom. Okay. Now equity value. How are you going to get the equity value? From here, okay, go here equal to this. I'm sorry, total combined value minus the value of the debt. Go here, value of the debt is 23,780. This you have to deduct. This 125, 125, 335. This is the equity value. Okay. Now, so you have worked out everything. Now we can come to a percentage gain on doing cash offer and share for share offer. Okay. So cash offer. And make it bold. Okay. What is the T company's percentage gain? T company's percentage gain. Go here. You see, it's 17.3 for each share. And what is your share price now that you have just got? It is, you need to go up. It is 16.23 value per share for T company after acquisition. Sorry, this is before acquisition. So now it is 17.3 minus 16.23. That was the value per share you got for T. Just here you got here. You see, value per share. That's why we need value per share. And divided by 16.23. Put bracket. Don't forget the bracket. Very important. Please understand the importance of bracket. Multiply by 100. So if you multiply by 100, you're going to get this as a percentage. Convert this into percentage. Sorry, it's 100%. So it's 6.6%. Okay. Now coming to the share for share of. See, I haven't kept any space here. If I put here, then working is very near. So that's why I always keep more space than you think you need. Okay. This is the lesson that I've learned, and you also have to learn. Always keep more space. If you think you need 5 lines, keep 10 lines. Okay. So this share for share of I will do here. But in your exam, please don't put it here. If you put it here or across anywhere you want, you are not going to get marks. Professional marks you will throw away. Even the technical marks you might get, because it's hard for the examiner to look around. And also if you write here share for share, it is interpreted as if it's working, comes under working. Okay. But since now I don't have space here, okay, now I can insert a column or anything in this CB Excel. I'm going to write it here. Share for share. T is percentage gain. Okay. Here, what do you need? Tell me. You need the share price of W after acquisition. See, in the cash offer, you don't need that. Why? In the cash offer, nothing happens. W is not going to lose any shares after acquisition if it's cash offer. They just have to give the cash to the T. That's why we did not calculate. But when it's share for share, since W has to give some of their shares to T, okay, 5 share of W for 6 of T, you have to now calculate W's share price after acquisition. Okay. That means the acquire companies. W, what is share price you need to know after acquisition. Because it's share for share after acquisition. Where do you start? Tell me. Where do you start for the share? Go to the equity value. This one. This is the starting place. Okay. Because this is a combined company's equity value. So you go here. This divide by number of shares. What was the number of share? Tell me. See here. W has 5,000 shares. Okay. And the offer is for every 5 share in this 6 shares, he is going to exchange 5 shares in W for 6 shares. You understand? So if you do that ratio, I'll just show you small working here. 5, wait a minute. If you write 5 here, 6. This is W, this is T. And here it's 5,000. So how much do you need here? Just divide this by 5, 1,000. Okay? Multiply by this. In terms of ratio, if you want to get, it will be 6,000 share. That means 5,000 W has now another 1,000. So total 6,000 shares. Okay? Equal to this divided by 6,000 shares. Because now they'll be having 6,000 shares. This I will down to 2 decimal places. 20.89. So now we need to know T's gain. How do we get it? After acquisition, how many shares? They've issued 1000, equal to 1000 multiplied by this share price. Okay. From there, minus how many shares were there before? 1200. 1200 multiplied by share price before acquisition of T. That is here. 16.23. That's why we found that value. Okay. 16.23. This is percentage gain or loss. Okay. So now divide it by, let's just copy paste it. Copy. Okay, it will not do it. So here I'll put bracket 1000 into this. Okay, minus 1200. Before they had 1200 into 16.23. Close bracket. Divide by 1000. 1200 into 16.23. What happened? You did not get the gain, no? Into 100%. Put another bracket here and put another bracket here. So the numerator function, the deduction is done first before dividing it. Enter. Now change it to percentage. You see 7.3%. This is the percentage gain. So now tell me, based on the financial ground, which offer? This you can write in word processor when you write the report. Cash offer 6.6, 7.3 under share for share. So according to T, what will they choose? They will choose share for share. They will share for share based on financial ground. You just have to write that one sentence. Why? Because the requirement told you conclude solely on financial ground whether T shareholder will accept cash or share offer. Now we are done with all the calculation. Quickly we'll go to word processor and start preparing the report. And the report will be based on the way this requirement has been asked, based on this. So how do you decide on an introduction? Based on your requirement. In your introduction, you will write that you are going to calculate profit and loss on the sale of infrastructure, the percentage given, whether they will accept share or cash offer, discuss the problem with operating synergy and how to achieve them, and the ethical issue regarding the job offer and all. So you have got the major portion of introduction from there. But now I will show you how to get the professional skill marks also. How do you write a report? Okay, so first we'll write A, report to directors of, mention the name of the company, Worldage Company. R has to be capital, this has to be in bold, and every report has an introduction. So I'll keep some space for introduction. First, please fill the layout of the report. Then we'll write in the main body. See, your first profit and loss and your second part. This we have already done it in Excel. So we'll start our report from this one, this part onwards. Third part of A, fourth part of A, and part B. These three things we'll write in the report and in the order given only. So that's how we decide that that will be a subheading. Okay. Always label it that this is the what? Third part, like this. What is it? Reasons. Don't write the whole sentence and copy paste the requirements. No. Make it short, maybe 5 to 6 words. Reasons why operating. Make sure that you don't make spelling mistakes, okay? Otherwise, you might not get your professional skill marks. Because at this level, you can't make the mistake of making grammatical or error mistake, okay? Spelling mistake. Synergies may not be realized. This is one subheading. Under this, you will write few paragraphs. Okay, then keep some space. Steps. You don't have to decide how much space you need. Why? See, when you type something and press enter, automatically the line will go below. This feature is not there in Excel. That's why you have to estimate the number of lines you need, space you need. In Word, it's fine. Another subheading will be how to realize the energy. Steps to realize synergies. Next is the fourth one. IV. Go back to the requirements and check. You see, third one, they told discuss the problem with synergy and steps of realizing synergy. Both you have answered using both subheadings in the report. This one also, there are two things. Financial situation of W, likely reaction of W shareholder for both share and cash offer. So here I will write share exchange. Anything you can write first, share or cash, doesn't matter. I'll see the requirement again. Yeah, they have told for share first and then cash offer. So make sure that you follow that out, okay? Cash. Cash. Next. What's next? Next is conclusion. See, I'll tell you one thing. Only part A is report. Only part A is report. All the four parts are for report. After that, conclusion, okay? Part B is a separate thing. It does not come under the report. So B you have to write after you finish the report. Don't include B in the report. So conclusion. That's it. And then B. For B, we'll read the requirement. Discuss the ethical issue from his point and his point. So these are the two subheadings. Okay. W company and T company. I am writing W company. You don't write W and T. You have to write the whole name. Okay. If you can't write the whole name, just copy paste it here. Just go here and copy and let's paste. You see? Copy paste. It's okay. So now I have the format of the report with me. Now I'm not going to write in bold. Okay, it will be without, remove the bold when you're writing the answer. Let's start with the introduction. Introduction is the easiest one to write. So let's quickly write the introduction. As I told you, introduction is nothing but just that you are going to write all this. Profit and loss, whether they will accept cash and share, ethics or not ethics, impact on the W's and T shareholder, and how synergies can be realized and all those things. It's easy to say in words like that. Okay, this is blah blah blah. Some of you might even memorize the introduction. It's not going to help you. You have to write and practice. So always start with this report. Okay, this report blah 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 based on the case study you can fill. Easiest. Even for SBL you can do this. This report calculates. You started by calculating profit and loss of the sale of the division. Write that. This report calculates the profit on sale of infrastructure blah 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 division. Okay, in infrastructure support service division, that you can write. Then don't break this down into different paragraphs. Okay, introduction is in one paragraph only. You can write 3-4 sentences, but keep it up to let's say 5 to 6 slides. Don't go beyond that. Don't make your introduction very lengthy. It's based on the requirements only. Okay, next. See, the moment you get confused what to write in the next line in the introduction, you see report calculates profit and loss of this one. First sentence over. Second sentence you will get from here. What is it? Don't say you are going to calculate percentage gain and loss and all those things, not required. The moment you say whether they will accept this and this, examiner knows you have done some calculation, right? So you can write whether they will accept cash or share offer. That you can write now. Okay, it considers. We have done all the calculation to see whether they will go for cash or share. So it considers whether T companies shareholders are likely to prefer a cash offer or share exchange. How? Based on what? Always write the method. Based on gains each gives them. Percentage gain you can write or whatever. Based on gains each. That means based on their gain. Done. So second sentence also you have done from this. Third, you will get it from third one. Third requirement, third sentence. Problems with achieving synergy and ways to achieve their synergy. That you will write. In any way you can write, you are free to select your own method. I'm not going to write the other things, okay? Only the introduction and conclusion I will show you. Because other things, I will just tell you the points. You have to make a sentence and write it. It gives them. Next. It considers. So always write it considers. It considers. It. As a third person, okay? Don't write I believe. I'm considering this. Don't write as a first person. Write as a third person. The report. It looks more professional. This languages are very important what you are writing in the report, okay? It considers for your professional marks. So the moment you write this as a report, say I will tell you how you are getting your professional skill marks, okay? The moment you are writing this as a report, like you are writing a heading, writing the subheading, writing it in the body, and doing the calculation in appendix, you are automatically getting your communication skill marks automatically. And other other professional skill marks, how you are getting that also I will show you while I am doing it. It considers the barriers to okay, my spelling might be wrong, but it's okay, never mind. Achieving synergies, okay? It considers the barriers to achieving synergies focused as a result of you need to be very fast in typing, okay? You have to practice typing from day one. Purchase of tea company. See, when you're writing the final, okay, final sentence, you can conclude by saying it finally discusses, it finally explains, it finally concludes. Like that, you can write in your introduction. Again, go to the requirement. Okay. So what's next? You see, this is the final one. Impact of this one. Whether they should choose this or that. That you will write here in the introduction. Okay. So it finally discusses. Even the verb that you are doing, you can choose from here. You see, discuss. So you can say it finally discusses. Isn't writing introduction of any report very easy right now? You see, you only have to follow the steps. This is for any subject, by the way, not only FM. Any report, any subject, AAA, ATX, AFM, SBR, SBL, APM, you can follow this because the way is same. It discusses the impact on W D company of the company's shareholders choosing to take a share or cash. I'm not writing the whole sentence. Share or cash offer. It discusses the impact on this one of the companies choosing cash or share offer. And concerns of W shareholder relating to alternative offers. My spelling might be wrong, but it's okay. As long as you get the idea of an introduction, you see it came up to 4 lines. How many sentences? Maybe just 4 sentences. First, second, third, fourth. 4 sentences, 4 requirement. Done. And in one para. This is how you write introduction. Now, since you have to get more space, okay, you can just bring this down, up, backspace. Looks more professional now. Or you can keep more space, doesn't matter. Now, reasons. See, to decide this, okay, I will show you how many points you have to write. It depends on the marks, okay. And before giving reason, you have to conclude solely on financial ground whether they will accept the cash or the share offer. So what offer they will accept? We can write it in the report. Okay, when you go for share and this offer, not here, not why synergies might not be achieved, when you explain the reasons, then you can write there on financial ground, okay, T's share will accept share offer as their percentage gain is higher. You have to give reason why they will accept it, as their percentage gain is higher. So now here, we are here, 8 marks. 4 marks you can give for problems, 4 marks for the steps. That means 4 points. So what are the points? Tell me. 4 points in 4 separate paragraphs. And you can write them in any order. Doesn't matter, you have to write this order. Now you know the layout. So you can write firstly, secondly, thirdly. Okay. I'm not going to write the whole sentences. That you have the marking scheme there with you to go through. Please download it. The only thing is, I will give you the points. First point could be culture. Culture. We all know why operating synergies may not be. See, you might have focused on that when you acquire, you are going to get some synergies. Realize some synergies, which might not be true. Why? Culture. Maybe the culture of the two companies might be different. This you can explain. Okay, in this para, culture. Conflicts between the culture or the management style. Okay, conflicts between culture or management style of the two companies. Then you can explain what happens. For example, you might be managing the employees poorly. Because of that, you can't achieve a synergy. And please try to give examples by linking it to the company rather than just giving general points like this. That's why you have to know a little bit of theory part from each part of your syllabus in AFM. Just knowing the calculation is not enough. You will not pass. Just doing this calculation in Excel alone will not give you marks. Calculation is just 20 marks or 30 marks. Rest 20 mark is on discussion only. Plus 10 professional marks. So you say how many marks you're going to throw away? You can't afford that. That's why you have to study. And where do you get these points? Cultural differences and all. When you study the different types of synergies, three synergy: revenue, cost, and income. Sorry, financial. And why synergies might not be realized. These are there in your textbook. I have taught you this in my lectures. It's there in my lectures, AFM lectures also. Okay. So now, one is conflict between these two. When you explain conflict, how a conflict might occur between T company and W company, you can give an example. That's how you're going to get your professional skill marks of evaluation. Okay. How are you going to link this point? First point. You see, for this you need your exhibit 1. See, exhibit 1 most of the time is based on the background information. Most of the thing that you have to write, discuss, you will get from your exhibit 1, because lots of background about the company is given there only. Same for SBL, same for any other subject. Okay. Now you see, W has faced recent criticism for not being in line with the technology. They are behind the technology. You see? Now, wait a minute, T company, right? If you see about T company, so here not much information is there, but we'll go here. You can get some from here also. Yes, this piece also. If you see T company, okay, they are successful. They are successful with the technology. The things which WT was lagging behind. And the next thing is, if you see, there is a significant number of T companies employees that has been there with the company, and they have good relation. Okay, senior management and employees are good in T company. You see, this information you will get from here. This is your evaluation skill. Your evaluation skill is this one. So when you put this thing there, this shows evaluation skill. For this, you are going to get marks because you are using different exhibits. You're evaluating it from a different angle, from all the angles. You understanding what I mean? Okay. So now this point you can apply with the culture, saying they have good, right? You can say the T company has built up a successful and loyal team. So if you include the W also, T's success, T's loyal team might not like it. What's the next factor? So this, I'm leaving it up to you to explain in your own words and link it with that point. Exhibit. Next one. Always leave a space when you're writing it in different paragraphs, okay? It should not be in the same line. So the next point, next reason, not operating synergy, what is it? T company might be overestimated. The valuation might be wrong. When you value the T company, it might be overestimated. How? Maybe inaccurate or insufficient information about T company. Possible? Right? So you might have overestimated the synergies. Or market conditions might have been viewed optimistically. Possible. Third reason for not realizing synergies. Failure to incorporate. See, I am writing sentences like this. Don't write bullet points or small sentence like this. It will not give you any marks. You have to write proper sentences. Okay, 2, 3 lines at least. Failure to incorporate. Strategic planning. Okay. So you might not. The W company might fail to incorporate T plan into the W's company. See, W company might have some strategic framework. They might not be able to incorporate T company fully into it. Okay. So if this is the case, you can't realize synergies. Maybe you have spent insufficient time and money was there. You have spent the time and money that you have invested to make the acquisition work was not enough. And maybe plans were not proper. Okay. To adapt to the plans to change the circumstances. Fourth reason. What's the fourth reason? Another skills, professional skills you will get here. Communication skill lacking. Okay. See, can you recall W company have sold off their infrastructure support service division, right? So there's a lesson to be learned from that. Why they have must have sold it? Maybe they were not able to communicate it properly, right? Communication skill was lagging there. So based on that, before planning the integration of D company, they have to see what lessons they have learned from the selling off of the infrastructure division. Maybe they were not able to manage it properly. Maybe strategic planning was poor in that division. Okay, because there might be problems with the infrastructure. You see, you yourself have calculated the profit and loss for this division. If you see here, they criticize WT for its lack of understanding of the infrastructure and failure to give sufficient attention and clear strategic direction. Maybe they might they might do it for T company also. So this also will give you the evaluation and the analysis skill marks. So two things you have used. Okay. Now next, this 4 points, 4 paragraphs. Now steps to realize synergy. Another 4 marks. Tell me, how can you realize? You can make further analysis of the source of energies. Sources of Further analysis of the source of synergies. That means you have to take actions. Okay. Next, clear integration plans. You need clear integration plans. For example, whenever you try to acquire, no one is happy with the decision. Some of the staff might resist it. So you have to take this into account. How are you going to deal with the staff concern, resistance? Who is going to report their data reporting requirements, right? While this integration takes place, you have to see who will report to whom, and the plan should be sufficiently flexible. Who will oversee what? You have to design a senior person to it, whether the T company's previous board will be there right after the accusation also. Third, strategic planning. Long-term plan or strategic plan. Okay. So long-term decisions will be required. How T will fit into WT's organization structure. So you can talk about organization structure. For example, who will control whom? How much autonomy you will give? For example, if you involve the previous director, they might make the accusation more acceptable. And the fourth step, information. Giving information to the employee. If you give the information to the employer what's happening, they are more likely to be motivated for this accusation. If you communicate to them what is their benefit, what are their performance incentives, how this accusation will help them, they are more likely to help you to realize the synergies. And also linking both the strategic capability. This is another point. Strategic capability of both the company. Example, technology. One is technology. WT is lacking, but he has the technology. How well you are linking the technology. So if you include one of the T's direct on the board, it will help you with the technology. Technology in W could be enhanced. Now, coming to this one. So we are over with it. Now we are moving on to the fourth one. Share exchange. Okay. Just see the marks. Requirement is I think 7. 7 marks. 3 for share, 4 for cash, or 4 for share, 3 for cash. Anything like that. Tell me. Now let's think about share. Forget about cash. When you're writing one thing, think about that only. Don't. Sometimes students, what they do is they often get think about both. From both the angles, they want to think, and which waste a lot of time and also your energy. It consumes your energy. Don't do that. When you're in the share exchange, think about share exchange. What could be the impact? See, based on the financial, okay, it is clear that they will go for the share exchange. So you can start by saying that on financial grounds, okay, or assumption shareholders will act rationally, preferring higher value. Okay, it's an assumption. Why? See, you are still in the assumption. You can't clearly tell whether they will go for share and exchange, share or cash. It is based on them only what they will choose. The assumption is that shareholders will act rationally in preferring higher value share to cash. I'm not writing. Okay, share exchange offer to the cash offer. See, the requirement here told you one thing before. Conclude solely on financial ground whether they will accept cash. This you have to write clearly. You have to write this sentence. Somewhere you have to write because they told you. You will get 1 mark for it. So that this is the time you can write here. Based on the above calculation or based, you might refer the appendix also. Which appendix you took from? Appendix 2. Okay. Appendix 2. Based on appendix 2, you will go for the share offer based on financial ground, share, because it gives you a higher gain. That you have to write. What happens? See, if you go by share offer, I'm not writing the full sentence, but I will write the points, bullet points. Bullet points I'll write for you. It will be easier for you to recall later on. If you go by share, cash will be retained. Your entire cash will be saved. It will be in the business only, which you can use it for the other investment purpose. Okay, cash will be retained. Investment in other opportunities or focused additional investment required, you can use. Next point, next paragraph you can write. See, if share exchange is taken, offer is fully taken up, that means there will be new set of shareholders. New shareholders will come into the boat and they will start interfering, right? That means this will have impact on the balance of the shareholder of the W. Even though none of the new shareholders will hold a significant percentage of shares individually. How can you say this? That none of the new shareholders will hold a significant percentage. Go here. If you see, wait, it's not here. It's in the first para. First or second, I think. Yeah, second. So three of the T's executive director owns 15%. No other shareholders owns more than 10%. No other. Okay. So that means even if new comes, they will not hold a significant percentage, but still, yes, there will be. Minor will be there. Okay. And also another thing, there will be concern. New set of shareholders and also, what is it? Dilution of EPS. Yes, your earnings per share will fall down if more and more shareholders comes. So W shareholder will be concerned about their dilution of EPS. Third, here you can give little bit of numbers. Little bit of numbers you can give. See, there was 5 to 6, no? 5 for 6. Concern for W. That 5 for 6 share will be a concern for W share. How? Because how this was determined. 5 for 6 share exchange. W shareholder will question this. How this was determined. Okay? Because there was no evidence that this is based on some fixed proportion of the value added from the acquisition going to both sets of shareholders. And now you can give some gain. What gain is going to W compared to T? Okay? See, W's gain. Okay, you can give W's gain. What is W's gain here? If you see here, W before trading was 20.41. Okay, 20.41. But if you go here, we have calculated it. W share price after acquisition is 20.89. It went up, no? Surely after acquisition, it went up. So we'll do that. We'll calculate. 20.89 minus 20. See, these are small calculations, okay? For this, you don't need Excel. Divide by 20.41. After acquisition is 28.9. Before it was 20.41. Here you can use a calculator for it, okay? Here you can use a calculator for it. it's 2.35%. Okay. Two point 35% the gain. And if you see the T's gain, how much is the T's gain? For share for exchange, go to share for share exchange and see the T's here. It's there, 7.3. Okay, T's gain was 7.3. So they will object this. Why? Their gain is much lower than T's gain. And what did the requirement tell you? Discuss the impact of both on this, on the both W and the reaction of them. Okay, then they purchase T. So we want to know it from the W's point of view. So now we are over with it. Now we are moving on to cash. Okay, if they go for cash, what happens? First, start by saying percentage gain. About percentage gain. Percentage gain from cash offer is, if it's very less, see, how do you write? If something is very less, the difference is very much, right? Significantly. Write the word significantly. If the difference is very small, just write marginally or slightly. Okay. So if you see the gain here, it is 7.3 and 6.6. The difference is not so much. It's marginally. Okay. So the percentage gain from cash offer is, you don't write like this, okay? Percentage gain. You have to write the full sentence. So percentage gain from cash offer is marginally lower than share. Percentage gain from share. This will be your first thing. And what happens because of this? Then you will write, conclude. So because of this, what happens? There is a certainty of return. This offers, cash offer gives you a certainty of return. You're very sure you are going to get this much. Why? It never changes. But share, it keeps going up and down based on the share price. And also it's a convenient, also convenient exit route also. Exit route for whom? Convenient exit route if T company shareholder do not want to be the shareholders of WTU. Okay. You can use some calculation. If you do calculation, which professional skill are you showing? Your commercial acumen. Your commercial acumen. This is how you're going to get your professional skill marks. You might not write it, it's fine. You might not do calculation and just write and go, okay. But what about your commercial acumen skill? Right? So what working you might need? You might need to know how much fund you might require. Okay. So for example, let's say here, Tinsel has 1200. Okay. 1200. Okay. Earlier we checked here a cash offer of 17.3 for each share in T. 17.3. So 17.3 and number of share that T has is 1200. So how many cash amount of cash will she need? 1200 into 17.3 equal to 2760. She needs this much. This much cash is required. So by showing this small amount, you are showing you are having a good knowledge of amount of cash that you require. This is your commercial acumen skill. Okay, cash offer. So if you use a cash offer, would use all the fund generated from the sale of infrastructure. Now you are linking this. Here you are showing your commercial acumen. You see, when we calculated the gain from sale of infrastructure, how much gain did we get? This much. triple two five, triple two five, and here, but we need more cash than that. So even after that, we'll be using up all the fund from the infrastructure, and we need additional fund. Additional fund is required if you go for this cash offer. After using the fund generated from the infrastructure, also you need more fund, and you don't know also what funding would be available to WTO. Not know. Next point. See, they feel cash offer might be too high for them. You see the amount? WT's shareholder might feel cash offer is too high for them because it might have an impact on their other investment. They might worry about it, whether funds will be available for other investment also or not. But benefits which T company shareholders gain will be fixed if they go for C, cash offer. And also if you see in terms of this the gain of cash would be higher for W. Why? Because T's company, target company shareholders are not taking up any shares here. So they cannot be a shareholder. So the benefit, whatever the gain, okay, whatever the expected gain, expected gain will go solely to whom? Solely to W, because they are the shareholders in cash offer. Expected gain solely to W. So the gain might be bigger. Now we are coming to the conclusion. How do you write the conclusion? Even conclusion is 4 to 5 lines, maybe 3 lines sometimes. Conclusion is from what you have written. It is not a new piece of information. So now conclude. Which one will you prefer, cash or share? Difficult, no? See, based on financial grounds, but when you are a financial advisor now at this level, at AFM level, you can't write a clear-cut conclusion like this. Any report you see, till now you have gone through, let's say, 2 3 past paper, you have seen one thing in common. In conclusion, they never write clear cut that they will use cash offer, they should use share. No, you can't say like that. So even in your conclusion, you will keep it up open, you will keep the decision open to them, open to the shareholder to accept. So how are you going to conclude? This language, adopt this language, okay? Always say it is not clear, based on this information we might need further information. So by writing this, okay, you are showing what? You are showing a skepticism skill. You are showing the professional skill, skepticism. That means you are questioning them whether the calculation they have done is accurate or not. You are challenging their opinion. You are not saying based on the information given to you, go and accept this. No, you are questioning them. Bring this, bring this, bring this. So you are showing a skepticism skill here. Okay, so I will write the conclusion for you because it's important. Don't write a clear cut conclusion. It's difficult. Then you have to justify. It is not clear which offer the shareholders of T company are likely to prefer, and the impact of the choice, on W companies available funds. And shareholdings. Maybe significant, right? You have just seen how much funding we require even after selling off the infrastructure. We need so much. So it's significant. But you will write may be significant, okay? Use words in probability terms, okay? Not clear. maybe this will happen, maybe that might happen, like that. In any AFM paper you will see this, especially in your question number 1, because in question number 1 only you have to write a conclusion. There only you have to write a report, not any other question, not in question 2 or 3. Okay, now maybe significant for value. Now you are showing another professional skill. This is also your commercial acumen. Okay, for value to be gained by W, company shareholder, a well designed plan. Now you have to talk about synergy also, a well designed plan to achieve synergies will be required. That this much. You see, conclusion is very small. Also your introduction. So it's not clear which what they will choose. Impact of the on the funding and the shareholding for W will be high, and also you need to design a well designed plan has to be there to achieve synergies. Okay, so we at the end we concluded talking about all the aspect, cash or share, then for synergies what you should do, and the impact on the W. Isn't it in the requirement? They will go for cash or share, not clear. How they are going to get the operating synergy that you have mentioned in the conclusion, and also the impact on the W. So in short, you have mentioned all the things in short in your conclusion. This is what you have to do for any question paper in AFM. Any topic comes, this is how you conclude always. Make sure everything is there in your conclusion. So you have concluded talking about synergies also. Okay. For value to be gained, if you want W shareholders to get the value, they have to achieve synergy. And to achieve the synergies, they have to design a plan. Otherwise, they can't achieve the synergy. That's your conclusion. Now we have finished part A. Coming to part B. I know it's already 2 hours, but never mind. So part B. Okay, this is part B. For WTO and for T. Already I have written. Now in B I will write. This is ethics. They have been mentioned. Okay, see. They offer jobs and some cash bonuses to T's company. Do you think it's ethical? That's what you have to answer. The requirement and the marks is for 5 marks. Maybe 2 for W, 3 for T, or 3 for W, 2 for T. Anything. First, I will write it and then I will show you the marking scheme, how the marks are allocated. Okay, so tell me, how are you going to write it? I'll give you some time to think about it. Because this is ethical, looks easy, but it's difficult to answer. Okay, let me tell you. So from first we'll think from W's point. What could be the ethical issue? This is how you start, okay? I will tell you the starting and the end you can write. The main ethical issue from W's viewpoint is whether you can write. Okay, what could be the main issue? Is whether the possible offer, so this offer, okay, you have to mention this offer, this possible offer. Mention, we are talking about what? We are talking about this offer. Whether the possible offer to the T's director breaches, use the word like breaches and all, okay, a fundamental takeover, a fundamental principle of takeover. See, there are some principles of takeovers, some regulations of takeovers, right? That also you have to go through when you are preparing yourself for acquisition and merger. So if they offer this job, are they breaching any of the fundamental principles of takeover? Equivalent, are they treating? So which is that? One principle is all the shareholders should be treated equally. So specifically mention that equivalent treatment of shareholders. Okay, equivalent treatment of a shareholder. So if you see, W's offering this job is defensive on business ground. Why? Would appear to be defensible on business grounds. Why? You can defend. You can say that they can defend. W can defend this. How? That means there's an argument for. How? Helping to realize synergies. Okay. Main reason is this is helping to realize the synergy. But offer may not be genuine. See, always when you are giving, right, give arguments for first and then argument against. If you have anything to say about argument for, say. Okay. Argument. Don't write in your answer argument for. I am writing this. Argument for offering this job. That means one plus sign. Realizing energy. Realizing synergy, sorry. For realizing synergy. Now argument against. What could be the arguments against it? Offer might not be genuine. Why? The director could be accused of bad faith and lack of integrity. Okay? Even the cash bonuses. Talk about cash bonuses. One is about the job offer, the other one is cash bonus. This might be questionable. Okay? Cash bonuses. Because it's very difficult for you to say that this is for the business reasons you are giving cash bonus. Right? And also, it could be seen as being additional consideration for the director's shares. Meaning, shareholders are not being treated equally. So finally, you conclude. You started by talking about this regulation, equivalent treatment of shareholder, and you are saying by giving cash bonus, you are not treating shareholders equally. Done. Now coming to T company. Okay. What happened to T company? For T company, their issue is not this, whether they are breaching the fundamental principles of takeover. Why? Who is taking over? W is taking over. W has to worry about it. T should not worry about. T is the target company. Then what should T worry about? What are their ethical issues? Conflict between, their issue is conflict between their own personal interest and interest of the shareholder. Their conflict is this. You see, the conflict of T and W are not the same. It's also the ethical issue they both face are different. Both of them face ethical issue, but it's different. You have to identify this first. What are they facing? What is the conflict that they are facing? Then you have to talk about it. Don't say they are wrong. They are unethical. They are ethical. No, this is not the way to write an answer. Okay, so possible conflict between this. So takeover regulations would not seek to prevent them taking jobs with a merged company. If you go by the takeover regulation, it will not help them to stay away from the job. They can still take a job with the merged company if there are sound business reasons for it. It will not be against the takeover regulation. But remember, they should be transparent about what they have been offered. Transparent about what they have been offered, the company. That means offer from the W, they should be disclosed by the T's director. They should follow the local takeover rules. Maybe director who is receiving this kind of offer, that they're going to get a job, they're going to cash, they should not involved in further discussion about the takeover. Okay, let me read the requirements once again. So ethical considerations and all. Okay, when ethical consideration means for or against ethical conflicts that they're facing and what could be done in order for them to come out of that position. That also you can write. So now I will show you the marking scheme. We have done question number 1. Now, first one is for 2 marks, profit on the sale of division. They have now shown you the division of the marks. Next one was 18 marks, where you have to calculate. How did you get that 18 mark? I will show you. Pre-acquisition free cash flow, 1 mark. Pre-acquisition value per share, 2 marks. This is for T company. Combined companies free cash flow from 1 to 4, 3 marks. Cost of equity, 1 mark. Cost of capital, 1 mark. Combined companies value from 1 to 4, 1 mark. Combined companies value after year 4, that is terminal value, 2 marks. Equity value, 1 mark. Cash offer percentage gain, 2 marks. Share exchange gain, 1 mark. Sorry, 2 marks. Then what is the WT share value in that share exchange? 1 mark. Conclusion is 1 mark, whether share or cash, 1 mark. Now let me tell you here one thing. Some of you might choose cash offer. Some of you might get a higher gain in the cash offer based on the incorrect calculation you must have done in the previous step. It's possible, no? Every one of you might not get the same answer. Some of you might have done some calculation. Somewhere you might have made a mistake and you came to a conclusion that cash gain is more than the share gain. So if that is the case, remember, your marks will only be cut once for the incorrect calculation. The conclusion that you're writing based on that calculation, your marks will not be cut twice, because you might say your conclusion is also then wrong, calculation is also wrong. No, only once your marks will be cut, not twice. So ACCA is very lenient in that manner. Okay, only once, because if that incorrect mistakes you follow up and use that incorrect calculation to write a conclusion, your marks will not be cut. You will still be given marks for that conclusion you're writing based on the calculation. Next, coming to part 3 about synergies, why synergies might fail and how to realize, right? As you can write 3 to 4. So if you're writing 3 points here, you will write 5 points here. If you're writing 4 points here, you will write 4 points here. That's how you're going to get maximum 8 marks. Okay. So reasons why operating synergies might fail. This I have already shown you. Overestimation of synergies, failure to incorporate T into the strategic framework. Second, inadequate resourcing of investment process. Third, poor planning. Then culture conflicts and poor employee management. How do you realize the synergy? Flexible integration plan, decision on long-term structure, communication with the staff, and strategic planning. Okay. Coming to the 4th, impact of share offer and then impact of cash offer. So if it's a share offer, funds will be kept in the business. There will be a percentage fall in the shares held and also EPS dilution. Okay. And 2 great percentage of gain goes to the T company. They are getting 7.3. Whereas W is getting only 2.4. We have shown it. Impact of cash. If cash is there, remember cash is giving you a lower offer than share. Okay. offer might be too high. Then funds from the sale infrastructure is insufficient to cover. You need additional fund for it. And also any expected gain solely goes to the W. Then ethical considerations affecting W and T. 2 to 3 or 2 to 3. 3 for W2 or 2 or 3. Anything will give you total of 5 marks. And professional skill marks is 10. We'll see how you're getting the professional skill marks. Okay, here. So if you write the general report format and the structure, you're using heading, you're using subheading, you're writing an introduction, you will get the marks. You're presenting your calculation using appropriate tool, that means in Excel, you will get the marks. Tone of the report. The purpose of report is it, writing as a third person. Okay. Then effectiveness of the communication. You are keeping the answer specific rather than general. You are linking it to both W and T. You are giving both of their viewpoints in part B. Coming to analysis and evaluation, how do you get this marks? You are supporting your discussion with calculation. Number one. Number two, you are using range of data to say whether they will go for cash or share. You are keeping your argument balanced. Okay. Then skepticism. You are challenging. You are using a professional judgment on reaching a conclusion. That's a skepticism. You are telling them what are the courses of action that might be required. For example, when you gave your conclusion, you told a better plan might need to be designed to achieve synergy. There you are showing a skepticism skill in your conclusion. Right? You are saying you need additional information. You can't decide on one. That's skepticism skill. Then commercial acumen. You're giving the solutions which are practical. Okay. You are giving examples to illustrate points. For example, there where you have told about culture. You have told that tea companies culture is good. They have good management with employees. Right? You're using your commercial acumen. Then recognizing the impact, the possible consequences of past and future action. You are showing commercial acumen. For example, in the past, you have sold off your infrastructure. What is the impact now? Additional fund required. There you are showing your commercial acumen. Okay? And demonstrating an awareness of the purpose behind certain rules and provisions. That means by talking about takeover regulation. What are you doing? You're showing your commercial acumen. This is how you get your professional skill marks. And if you see here, you can get the sample answer also. You see, this is what I've done. It has an introduction. This is how a report will look like. It is divided into separate paragraphs, 4 points. Then steps to realize synergy, share exchange, cash exchange, conclusion. Then all these are appendix. You see, this will be done in your Excel. It's clearly labeled. You see, these are in bold. They have clearly mentioned appendix 1, appendix 2. They are not putting everything under one. Clearly labeling it. This is profit on sale. This is gain and loss. Then they are saying this is first requirement. Then this is second requirement. They are labeling it like this. They are keeping this bold. Then they are showing this working and then the answer. Showing this working and then the answer. They are writing it. Free cash flow to firm, company value, value per share. So you have to show. Then they are using this table. 1, 2, 3, 4. They are showing that this is the discount factor and there's a working for it, W. Then they are writing the tax also here. And then under working, they're showing you how they got the cost of capital. Then they are clearly labeling cash offer, share for share offer. And they are writing this as a conclusion. On financial ground, T shareholder will accept the share for share as their percentage gain is higher. Then coming to B, W and T. Their ethical issue. Okay. So coming back to question number 1, that's it for question number 1. Please make sure that you do similar type of questions like this. If you get any, this was mock June 2024 mock exam? A very good question, because most of the time in question number 1 you get a company valuation question. So it's a very good question to do. Moving on to question number 2, I will not be solving it here. It will be in my next video. Question number 2. It is on the question number 2 is about investment. It is your net present value. If you read the requirements, it is about your APV and discuss the factor which will influence the credit ratings. So see you in the next video, where I'll be discussing question number 2 of pre-June 2024 mock exam for AFM. Thank you and take care, and you can go back to my YouTube channel Sabi Akhtar and subscribe and watch out my AFM lecture and 14-day AFM revision crash course. Thank you and best of luck for your AFM June exam. And please, please, please make sure that you do other past papers as well.